I have two very, very chronically ill parents. My mother has, she had been diagnosed with kidney disease, Parkinson's. She has very, very painful legs. And she, through COVID, they diagnosed her with vascular dementia. She was at a stage where she didn't even know who we were. She didn't know who she was. It was very, very sad time for our family. My dad is also very sick with Parkinson's. He's had 5 bypasses, lots of cardiovascular problems, one kidney. He's got asbestosis and silicosis. He was a burnt out builder, and his body failed him, and he was very, very sad being stuck at home because he loved to work. So he was bedridden at Christmas. He broke his back in 3 vertebrae. I was in the point to say I had mum and dad on Christmas Day that they were that ill that I thought, what can I do? And I remembered a friend of mine contacting me about this product called LifeWave. And I thought, you know what? I have no other choice. I'm going to give it a shot. I would try anything to tell you the truth, because it was either go into a nursing home for mum and dad and probably wave goodbye to them, because when that happens, you don't tend to last very long. So we started the journey at Christmas time. I ordered the patches and we received the patches, started using them. Mum and dad, it wasn't myself using them at the time. Their health was more of a concern, even though I felt horrible myself, and I do have my own health concerns. Mum and dad started using them. Within 3 weeks, I had them up walking. They were walking, had their walker, and they were doing laps around the block. Incredible. They still had to depend on the walker because, they were frail and weak and growing strength, but the patches had definitely changed their lives. My mother's brain became very clear. She used to love Eddie Maguire, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and she was so disappointed to learn that the show would finish because she wanted to be a contestant. Her brain was working that clear, and it's still working very, very clear today, and she feels like a new person. Her painful legs were that sore that you could even touch them slightly, just the slightest touch, and she would yelp with pain. The first patch that she put on, that pain went within a matter of how long? Minutes.
Just minutes.
Within minutes, the pain went completely. And you had your leg up, kicking it around, saying, my pain in my leg's gone, it's gone. So it was quite incredible.
My sore knee.
Your sore knee as well.
Gone.
She also had a sore knee, but also the painful legs, Mum. You remember the touch was really, really
I've had
hard.
a few falls out on the road and landed on my knees and had to pick myself up. So that's where the sore knee came from.
But Mum and Dad were both that bad that they would, Mum would be falling off, like she'd fall unconscious off a chair. Like I couldn't leave her for 5 minutes. So it was a very stressful time for me. And my dad also, he has Parkinson's. His Parkinson's was much more severe than my mother's, and he would freeze and he would fall backwards, and it would be very, he'd take the wheelie walker with him over the top of his head and it would smash him into the concrete. So it was really awful to watch your parents both suffer so much. He also had like prostate problems that he was up every 5 minutes or 2 minutes going to the bathroom. It felt like every 2 minutes, which was very difficult. He has postural hypertension that he would have to stand for 2 minutes before being able to take one step. Otherwise, he would just fall straight over because the blood pressure would drop so dramatically. He would fall. So that he now has no postural hypertension. He can just get up and walk. He's walking unaided. He does take the wheelie walker if it's because of his broken back. It kind of fails him after a certain distance, and he said my nose starts going towards the ground. So we're still working on strengthening that. It's been a 7-month journey for us, but my dad has lost the stare. He had a really with Parkinson's, you have a fixed gaze, and it's like you're not home. So I'd always be going, Dad, are you there? We didn't know if he was there or not, and they can't help that. That's part of it. And you're very rigid. He seems to move more fluidly. He's not shaking. He couldn't write. He's writing again. He had no voice, so no one could understand him. He'd try and talk, and he had very little voice. His voice has come back stronger, louder, and more clear. And he's now able to be understood. So that's basically my parents' journey.
You actually took.
Mum has kidney disease as well. Sorry, Mum's kidneys have gone from 20% to 40% function.
Wow.
And her creatinine levels have also improved greatly. And that was only after 3 months. So we're interested to see what it would be now. Mum has white hair, white grey, but at the back it's actually going darker.
Okay, yeah.
So it's actually a lot healthier. It did go fuzzy because Mum's on chemo drugs as well, and it went really fuzzy at one stage. I have photos with the BGs. Mum went to the school with the BGs, and I have a photo, and her hair's really fuzzy. It's like it's been fried, but it's really helped with that. And your skin as well has really greatly improved.
You look amazing, Patricia. You look amazing.
And well looked after.
And Mum, what did you say? You said that you're feeling. She feels
I feel like a new person,
and her energy is better.
You must feel like a new person.
Oh, it is. It's incredible. It's and you know, all of the neighbours in my street saw the dramatic changes in my parents, and I've been looking after them for like 10 years or longer, and so they saw this massive change, and they said, oh my God, what are you doing with your parents? We want what they're having. So I've got my street are on it, my parents' friends are all on, and then I started on it, and I'd keep getting these people that were a lot sicker than me, and I'd give my patches away to them thinking you need them more than I do. I suffer with fibromyalgia, ankylosing spondylosis, which is a degenerative spine disease, and they can be quite painful.
Yeah.
I also cried even as a child with aching legs, and they never ever went away. I was told it was growing pains as a child. And now I don't have any of those aches. Very little. I maybe get a slight twinge sometimes, and I'll just whack a patch on that area, like on my hip or something. But I am sleeping. I used to sleep 3 hours a night. Mum can testify for this because I, even as a child, never slept.
How do you go to sleep?
That's
count sheep.
That's what Mum would say. And I go, I tried, but it doesn't work. So anyhow, I've gone from sleeping 3 hours a night to maybe 6 or 7 hours a night. So it's been an incredible change for me. My skin, I'm a sun worshipper. I love the sun. I like going to the beach, and I live at the beach, and my décolletage had a crinkle on it. And within maybe 1 month of using the patches, that crinkle disappeared.
Just like that picture, yeah.
And I also had some little like moles or something that little lesions actually that came to the surface, scabbed up, and then dropped off. So I've had a bit of that, and I wondered whether they were little skin cancers, but it's been really, really incredible for me. My aches, like I seriously, people would say, oh, when you're old, and I'd say, I don't want to get old. I already feel 150 years old because my body ached that much, and I honestly felt like I didn't want to live. I thought, how can I go on with this pain, because it would be really debilitating, but I had to put my pain aside to look after Mum and Dad, and I came last. So it's really been life-changing for me, and it's not only changed their life, it's given me my life back as well. And I've gone on a wellness journey with the patches myself, and they've helped me, and now they're helping a bunch of my friends and my family and people all over. So it's a wonderful journey, and I urge anyone that has any type of illness to give it a try. But even healthy people can get amazing results. And everyone's journey is unique. I'm not saying it works the same for every single person, but it does something amazing with it. I've only been on the patches maybe for about 2.5 months, something like that myself. And I have thyroid disease too. It's Hashimoto's and Graves. I actually went back to the doctors after about maybe 6 weeks on the patches, and I had a full blood count done. My thyroid levels have completely normalized
Wow, that's
within 6 weeks.
incredible.
So
Yeah.
I had also, my hair was a bit brittle, and I feel like it feels better now. It's not so fizzy and fuzzy, which I didn't like, and it's growing much better as well. So yeah, I feel good. My skin feels good. My energy levels are amazing, and my sleep is great. And I love it, X39, and I love all the other patches too. I'm a true believer, and I feel like we've all experienced a miracle.
You didn't
Yeah.
mention Dad was having seizures.
Oh yeah, my
too.
dad was having, on Christmas Day, my dad had 3 seizures in my arms. He was having seizures all the time. He was also falling all the time, and he has not fallen since, and either his mum. They haven't fallen since starting, so that's pretty incredible. Yeah, and and my dad's his mind's got clearer too, because when you have Parkinson's, there's a bit of dementia that sort of comes in with that as well. But dad's very clear. Him and mum are renovating a property. I'm helping my dad at the moment renovate a house that they're going to on the waterfront, and we're putting a lift in. We've got a meeting with the lift people tomorrow. So, and the only reason we're putting the lift in, he said, I can get up and down the stairs all right, but I can't carry like groceries or anything up. So that's the reason why. So it's so exciting, and we never thought that could be possible. So
amazing, Ricky. Thank you so much. And Patricia, I'm just like, I feel like I'm going to cry for you too, the whole family. I mean,
you would have
if you saw us. I used to have mum and dad's friends come, and they would walk out crying. They wouldn't cry in front of mum and dad, but they would. And people would say, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe your mum's lived like through whatever." And mum went down to 42 kilos. She had 11 litres of fluid on her stomach. She couldn't even scratch herself. She could only wriggle her shoulders. We called her an inchworm because it was just like a little tiny inch that she could move. But we have been miraculously given this. I believe it's a gift to me as well for all the service I've given to my parents, and it's a payment back to me to go and help the world with their health issues.
Well, your story alone is just going to give so many people some hope. It's really encouraged me personally to try harder with my mum.
Yes,
she does everything her doctor tells her, and he doesn't tell her to put a patch on. But look, you know what? I'm going to share this testimony.
Well, guess what, Linda? I have 5 doctors using the patches personally. So I went to one of their houses yesterday, and I said, "Are you using the patches?" They went, "I used them for 2 weeks, and then I forgot." And so I've gone and put big patching notices on the mirror in the bathroom, say patch on, and I've got patch off beside the bed. So to say, you put these beside the bed, and that will help you remind yourself. Like, he's a retired surgeon, but he needs to take the patches every day, and he knows mum and dad very well, so he's a very good friend of the family. And I just said, we need you to get better. So he had.
And that's what it's all about, isn't it?
It is.
There's so many people out there, and truly, I bet you, I know you shared with me on Saturday, that when you're in so much pain, you really don't want to live a long life, do you?
You don't. You can think of nothing worse. It actually seems like a nightmare to think of, I've got to live this day. How am I going to live another one after that? It feels like that.
You've got a whole life, new lease of life, and for you, Patricia, what a beautiful daughter to be caring for you both, and that takes its toll on people to be caring for people as well. But like you said, you're caring after everyone else, but you've all benefited, and now you're looking after yourself as well. So I can't wait to meet you, Patricia, and so glad that we met, Ricky.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm crying now because it gets really emotional when you think about the.
No,
right, Mum. That's all right.
Look, you're going to make me cry.
It's tears of joy. She's happy. It's actually.
Well, it is. I mean, it's just.
And our stories are so real, but they seem hard to believe. And I actually think if someone told me that story, and Like if I told someone that story and I didn't know me, would I believe it? Would I say, they can't be serious. This couldn't seriously work like this, but it truly has worked like that for us.
Yeah.
He really believes in it.
And I believe in it. I used to work in pharmaceuticals. I was the state manager of a pharma company that I looked after a team of pharmacy account managers for the for Queensland, and this is something so much better than any medicine I've ever seen, and I think it's the future of health and wellness.
I do too, absolutely.